Child welfare work can be emotionally draining. Supervisors who recognize the emotional impact of the work and provide focused support can help their staff to better manage the stress and challenges. As you watch, look for these critical components of providing social and emotional support. Also notice that Jody is not trying to solve the problem, but is focused on providing support.
Well, hey Amanda, how are you?
Hi.
Haven't seen you for a while. How are you doing?
I just got another new referral. I just don't understand how I'm going to keep up with all this stuff.
Why don't we go back to my office and talk about it?
Okay.
When workers come into this profession, they come in because it's a helping profession and they want to help everybody. And I think one thing they have difficulty with is they come in and they want to do everything for their families and they put all of themselves into their families and lose who they were when they first came into the job. So I think helping them find a balance between helping the families and then still having a life of their own is extremely important. We can't really be beneficial to our families if we're not taking care of ourselves. Good. So helping them and supporting them on giving the families tools that they need and then kind of backing out and supporting them but not doing everything for them. Because it just seems like you've been feeling really overwhelmed lately and maybe a little stressed out.
Yeah, I'm just completely exhausted right now. My families, a lot of them are in crisis right now, and so I'm spending a lot of extra time with each of my families.
Okay, and I've been noticing lately too, one of the reasons why I want to talk to you is your documentation has been getting a little bit behind.
Absolutely. I mean, I'd agree with that. I can either spend time with families or I can do my documentation, but I just don't have enough time to do both.
So I'm hearing you say that you are feeling overwhelmed and you just don't find enough time in the day. And I can see that it's really affecting you and making you feel a little bit stressed.
I just came from a home this morning that took longer than I had planned, and so when that happens, I'm spending all this extra time with families, so there's just not enough time to do the documentation too.
I know in the past you've been really good about getting your documentation in on time.
I take a lot of pride in my work, so this just isn't me to be this far behind and not be getting my stuff done.
And I know it's not typical for you, and you've always done really good at getting your documentation in and your assessments, and you really have an innate ability to engage with even the most difficult clients.
And with Nathan being at home, I mean, I definitely spend a lot more time, and I'm up in the night and up early in the morning, and so maybe free time that I used to be okay with doing paperwork in the evening, now I really feel like I need to be spending time with my family instead of other families.
And I know when you came back from family leave, we talked a little bit about if you are feeling overwhelmed or stressed, I have an open door policy, and to please come to me.
I guess I just didn't realize how overwhelmed I was feeling. I didn't realize, maybe until you pointed it out, how far I was getting behind on paperwork. It just seems like I'm just trying to hold it all together.
And I know how stressful it can be to have a brand new baby and figuring out how to balance your family with the families that we serve. So I do completely understand that. And you know that I've had a baby recently too, and I know how that feels to come back.
It's definitely helpful knowing that somebody else has been through this and that you understand what it's like for me to be going through all this right now.
Do you think it would be helpful if maybe we came together later this afternoon and put together a plan of things that you could do and maybe I could support you in? And then next week we'd come back together again during supervision and kind of review that?
Yeah, how long did it take for you to kind of feel back to your old self again at work?
Well, it took time and it took support. I did have to ask colleagues and I did have to ask others to kind of help and assist me. And I can understand, having a new baby myself, how stressful that can be. But one of the things I know is that you have that ability.
Well, it's definitely important for me to do good work. I mean, I really have a lot of pride in my position and I really want to do well here. And so, yeah, if you think there's things that you could help me out with or ways to help get me back on track, that would be helpful.
And I have complete faith that you'll get caught up again and you'll be back and doing the great work that you've done with us before.
Okay.
Supporting workers and then having them get the expectations done is difficult. I think one of the ways of doing that is every week in supervision, how are you doing? Are you getting the things done that you need to get done? Making sure that you're going through the checklist, but also making sure that they're doing okay. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling stressed? And being able to have that hour where they can kind of decompress, let what they need to get let out, and then still know that there are expectations for them to do at the end of the week. So it's just being there and supporting them, giving them that hour, even in like a group supervision with their colleagues. Them knowing that their colleagues are also very supportive of them is very important.